Good.
Good. A bit fucking hot in here. It's good.
It's always hot, dude. It's Africa.
So my boy,
What's up?
first things first. We gotta speak about now I'm forgetting his fucking name. Adesanya's Ghana. That was
Okay, this is a touchy subject on the internet right now. So for those who don't know, Israel Adesanya and Paulo Costa fought previously in the UFC. It was two undefeated fighters. Big hype. Izzy comes, he shreds fucking Costa. After the fight, looks like he has Ghana tits, aka what you bitch tits, bro. What you get from obviously doping.
Yeah, it's weird, bro, because like out of the two guys, if you look at the two guys, you'd be like, bro, there's no ways that Paulo Costa's natural,
not
and
the-
Adesanya is the one that's juicing.
But it's always the funny thing that because now looking at the Garnets and stuff, the funniest thing is like he's always been the one that's like been very loud about steroid use and shit. And I look back at TJ Dillashaw's case, and TJ was always the one that was like, I'll never do this. These guys were doing this and that, and then he like gets busted for like being on all the juice.
Bro, if you think about it, that's how a lot of the time it happens, bro. If you're defensive about something, you're gonna carry on like mentioning the fact that you
that you clean and you're always passing your tests and
bro, it also makes sense because he's literally outclassed every fucking human being that's fought him.
You know what's crazy about him? Like his build and his type takes you to John Jones's build and John Jones's type, who's a guy that's lit up twice. We all kind of fucking know that John Jones has been on
big time,
and that's and
not
like
just juice, fucking coke and everything else.
Oh yeah, and fucking people's wives and shit. So shout out to John Jones and Jesus, I guess.
But really so good, but it kind of takes away from the fact that he's so good, just because he's such a fucking. Bro, the only reason why I don't dig him is because he tries. Listen, at the end of the day, he's a good fighter. It doesn't matter. He's outside life.
Yeah.
But you know what irritates me is the fact that he puts on this like he's such a nice guy and like does this shit for charity and like he's like religious and whatever. But then he goes and fucking slaps hookers and fucking
but it's because his father's a reverend, so he's like trying to like he is his father's son. Like I see him and his dad are very close.
Yeah. But.
And then like
why act like you're just bro? At the end of the day, you're a fighter. You must then act like if you're a badass, then you're a fucking badass.
But this is the argument that I've always had with him because I was like thinking that like if he like leaned into the heel role where he was like the bad guy, like the Covington kind of vibe, and then like he really took on that fucking bad guy persona, I think it would have done him a lot like more service in the fans of the UFC in the long term because. With all the fucking up, like when he first started, it was like John Bones Jones, and everyone was sucking his dick, and he won when he was 21, his first fucking champion, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Like in that fucking time, like everybody was riding that good wave, like John Jones is a good guy, and then like hits a pregnant lady's car, and then fucking like just decides to run away, which is the dumbest fucking thing you can do because your car's still there, dude. Like. I never understand it even right.
But there's no logic after 3 days of fucking doing coke.
Yeah, no, that's true, bro. He was fucking strung out of his mind.
I don't know. I don't try. Like exactly, like if he did the whole Colby Covington thing.
Yeah.
And he was like, okay, cool, bro.
But that's why I fuck with Colby because I know it's an act, and
I actually dig him, bro.
And that's the thing. He's like lent into it like so well that like. Dude, you must see his social media, bro. People just are so angry at him, and like you realize his like rise to fame is like literally hated. Like being like your anger. The angrier you get at him, the more famous he gets.
Yeah. Well, bro, and he's not the only oak that's done it.
No, he's not the only oak done it. And a good person to look at. Like, first he did it in wrestling, and then he came to the UFC, but it was Brock Lesnar. Yeah. Brock Lesnar was like known for being the heel. He's always the bad guy. Was always on the wrong side. Even when he came to the WWE and he's like, oh fuck you guys. I mean the UFC, sorry. And he was like, fuck you guys. At once you can shove a horseshoe up your ass after booing him. I think it's when he beat Frank Mir. Like he really lent into that, and it fucking rose him from being this fucking chubby fucking wrestler. Never mind the fight, like his first like 3 fights, he beat like fucking like Velasquez fucked him up, but he still fucking
fucking people up, bro. Yeah.
Still fucking people up, and I think it took him 4 fights to become a UFC heavyweight champion. So, and on that way, he fucking obviously had the fucking battle with Frank Mir. That's like one of the most legendary like bouts, like the double fights or whatever.
Yeah.
Dude, like, so Colby's fucking taking that on himself, and he plays it fucking well, bro. And as much as you fucking hate him, bro, he's a fucking superstar now.
I don't hate him just because of the fact that you know that's like actually not who he is.
Yeah.
You know what? But you know what I don't like, bro? I really, really, really don't like Kamaru Usman. Because he's not putting it on. That's him, bro. He's just a fucking dick.
I think he's... I don't know, bro. I think he tries too hard. You know what he's like? He's like... Kamaru Usman is like one of those guys who was like... He's never been popular. He was probably always like disliked and stuff. He doesn't seem very likable. He's like nerdy. He's like a goofy guy.
Yeah.
But he's also a fucking super athlete. And because you're like in the super athletes and stuff, you know, like that, like it comes naturally with that popularity and people looking at you and interviewing you. Like the thing that made me like stop fucking with him was like the Masvidal thing, where he clearly, when Masvidal like did that knee against Bez Askren, he jumped up and he was like, oh yeah. Like I think it was like a week later, he was in an interview and they were like, what do you think about you and Masvidal matching up? And he was like, who? That was fucking bullshit. You see that trying too hard shit, like. Yeah, it's easy for...
He's not... Like, dude, you're not a gangster. But let me tell you something. He's a fucking... Bro, I don't see someone... Listen, the only person I think that could beat him is Colby. Bro. And the second fight will be different. And they will fight again.
And the thing is, like, Colby like, obviously broke his jaw. But he was fucking destroying Usman, in my opinion. Until the last minute and Usman managed to catch him again on that jaw.
He was, dude. You know, Usman, in UFC, up until then, hadn't lost a round. He dominated every round, even the fight against Tyron Woodley, which was arguably the greatest welterweight of all time at that time.
Yeah.
Came and beat him all 5 rounds. Okay, yeah. Bro, he's fucking phenomenal. Then Colby Covington comes. I think he beat him first and third. No, yeah, first, second. I think even it could have been first, second, and third.
In my opinion, he probably had 4 rounds to 1. In the sense that I think the first round he came, second round he broke his jaw, he backed off a bit because he was sore.
Yeah.
And then his coaches were like, bro, well, you have to fucking fight, fight. And bro, I hate to fucking say this because it angers me more than anything when someone runs in the octagon.
Yeah.
But those fucking plates clapped and you had 30 seconds left to survive. And if Kamaru Usman doesn't land that punch in that 30 seconds, you are the world champion. I would have just backed off. He knew your jaw was broken and he literally sprinting after you, swinging because he knows all he needs to do is catch you once. And Colby Covington was just maybe just a bit too brave and like he engaged in the fight.
That's what I think about him, bro.
Yeah, it was cool. Like it's courageous, but yeah, bro.
At the end of the day, dude, he is so tough, bro. It's actually like,
and he really,
I don't know. I dig the fact that you know for a fact that Usman is a better technical fighter, but dude, Colby just comes in, puts that like disgusting pressure on you.
Bro, that volume is disgusting, bro. Like I think he's not when that Robbie Lawler fights, he like holds the record for like the most strikes ever thrown in a round.
Yeah,
bro, he fucking like that's the thing, bro. Like he has this thing where he throws punches like almost like sparring level, like
he just
but he taps, and because the punches like. You're not taking so much damage. It's just pressure.
All the time.
You kind of like open up to throw like the counter, and he fucking throws those 1 or 2 that it's like at 100%.
Yeah.
So he picks you, and he waits for you to. It's like the rope-a-dope, but almost like the opposite of it. So he's punching you, you're going, oh fuck, bro, you know, you're sweeping. You're like, okay, he's not catching me with too much damage. Maybe I fucking come, and then that's when he hits those 1, 2, 3s, bro, and fucking.
And similar to Tony Ferguson.
Yeah. Ferguson also likes to bait, bro.
And I promise you, Tony Ferguson is not a good striker. He isn't. Honestly, but like you can speak to any like.
He's a weird style. It's very like.
But even his style, like whatever, he's not actually like technically he's not a good. But he's got such good cardio that like, bro, it doesn't matter. Like if you're 100 times better fighter than what I am, but I come at you, and I literally just lay into you for.
Cardio is the only thing when it comes to fighting.
25 minutes, bro. You can't do fuck all. Bro.
It's literally the only thing. Like if you do not have fucking cardio, you don't even think about fighting. Yeah. It's like literally that's like the first fucking cornerstone, bro. Like the O's, Because that's exactly the thing. You can be the hardest,
Unless
strongest
you
motherfucker.
fucking Adesanya and just knock the O out.
Or just knock the
fucking
oak
10
out.
seconds.
Or fucking you in Francis and Ngannou and you fucking just come steamroll everybody. And then you see what happened in the Stipe fight, bro. Stipe is just like, okay, listen, this guy's got 1 round in him. But just keep him on his feet for 1 round. He made him look stupid for the rest of the fight.
He did.
And that's the thing that shows you, but there's a difference. If you want to be a champion, bro, you better make sure you fucking running every single day, bro.
Yeah. Bro, that I think you gotta see that fight again. It's gotta be Stipe. But also it's hard to give Ngannou that fight because their first fight. Listen, Ngannou's way better now. You know, everyone knows that.
Everyone knows that.
But bro, even in the Rosenstruck fight, like he knocked him out so quickly, but he just as well could have got fucking knocked out.
Yeah,
the way it was just like throwing. But if he tries anything like that with, obviously he knows.
Yeah, he knows that the game was Stipe.
But if he tries anything similar to that, Stipe's he's gonna kill him.
But did you hear what he said? It was interesting. He said on Mark Tyson's podcast about like why he ran into Rosenstruck. Because he took 1 shot. And he said he got a fright, but then he absorbed the shots and he went, holy shit, this guy doesn't punch half as hard as I thought he would.
Yeah.
So he just fucking chased him down and beat the shit out of him. Which also shows is a dumb bravery, but I mean,
listen, bro,
you got to ask yourself, like Paulo Costa, Adesanya. Paulo Costa lost and he lost shamefully. Now looking back at it, just throw your fucking hands because you like it's always easy in 2020 hindsight as they say, but like now that he like got torn out by like trying to be this technical fighter and staying on the inside, just part of me thinks, dude, just go throw hands and if you got knocked out, you got knocked out.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, bro.
Like, anyway, he's got knocked out.
Anyway, got knocked out, bro.
Bro, what do you think about this whole like I don't think Costa's the type of guy to lie about it, but like there's like. He said there was shit before the fight.
He said something happened in the training room, or what is that?
Yeah, like an injury or whatever.
I don't know.
That's what I saw. He said that it was an injury, but now, it's just weird to me that
it's not an excuse just because
it's not an excuse. It's not an excuse. But what I'm saying is like, bro, I really want to see the fight again, like when it's proper, because there was something wrong with Costa.
There was, and that's what I said to Ty. Like he froze. Like I don't know if it was. Maybe because like it's always easy to make excuses, but he could be telling the truth. He could have like hurt himself in the change room, and now he's like fucking scared. But like he looked scared, bro. He looked like as if like someone that had never been like there before. And I always argued this is the thing with like fighters, like with the whole Justin Gaethje Ferguson fight. I don't think Gaethje fights that same fight in front of a crowd. I don't think he wins that fight in front of a crowd. That's because he just gets too fucking pumped up and he's not listening to his coaches and shit. And the fact that it was quiet and his coach should tell him to calm down, stop trying to fucking swing his head off. You're gonna get tired. You're gonna get knocked out. Just fucking fight your fights. It helped him.
And he put on a fucking
performance of notes. And even when he was on another podcast, this Joe Rogan's podcast, he was like, that was one of the things. He's like, he didn't get like too pumped up. And when he started hearing his coach shout at him the whole time, he like started making the adjustments. I wonder if Paulo Costa got into that cage, the moments and everything got to him, and also that he has he's an irritating corner. I hate those fucking guys. It's that same also guy that fucking with Harry Cejudo and I can't remember his name. Is the Gremlin,
coach though.
He's brilliant. He's a brilliant coach, but he's fucking annoying. He's the king of cringe, that motherfucker. And bro, like I can't help but think maybe that fucking played into his favor. It wasn't the event that he was expecting in his head. It was all this massive build up, these talks, whatever, and then he got into a quiet octagon. And this guy's very technical, and the coaches are overcoaching. And that's one of the things I think Dan Hooker said is like, there did seem that there was overcoaching because you sometimes have those coaches that like undercoach you and don't help you in the moment, or you have those coaches that overcoach you and you like sit down and they're trying to tell you like don't do this, don't do that, like everything's trying to fit in like a minute time, and you just fucking it like kind of everything just starts fucking with you. You start doubting yourself. You're standing in a certain position, now it's not working. Your coach is asking you to adjust. I don't want to use like the crowd as an excuse, but I feel like maybe if I think about it logically, that might have been the reason he froze. It was all this big build-up, hype events, the fucking face-off, they're pushing each other, and you get into this quiet octagon, and they're like, fight, bro. And I don't know if just the occasion got to him, or, but he did, you could see visibly on his face, before he even took a strike, he didn't look right. He didn't look right.
That's what I said, bro. Even when I was watching the fight, I was like, hold on, bro. I thought, okay, maybe he's just waiting to suss him out, and then he's just going to fucking throw... But he literally did exactly what Yoel Romero did.
Yeah.
He just like waited there. It was very weird. And even like it didn't seem like he took that much punishment, bro. And he
No,
just
and
went
he
down.
crumbled, bro. That leg took damage.
Leg to damage, but bro, if you watch the fight with him and Yoel Romero, Paulo Costa, bro, he took way bigger shots.
Yeah.
And you know for a fact that Yoel Romero throws harder punches and shots than Izzy. 100%.
Yeah, I don't
So
know.
it was very weird.
I think a lot of people are like, don't take anything away from Izzy. He irritates the shit out of me. I don't like him. I'm still not convinced, bro. I'm sorry. Like, everybody's like fucking, bro. I can't explain it, bro. Like, he fought Derek Bronson. Fucking, I don't rate Derek Bronson, bro. He's a nice guy. At the stage as well, I must say this, Derek Bronson was coaching himself, dude, which is the most fucking insane thing.
Yeah.
He was fighting in the UFC and he was literally doing everything himself, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So I give him props to that, and he is like a ranked fighter, which is like an incredibly rare thing, dude. Like, not a lot of people make the UFC, not a lot of people make a main event, not a lot of people make the top 30, not a lot of people fucking get placed 5th or 6th, whatever he is now. With that being said, bro, like, I don't think that was that impressive a fight. For me, Gaslam...
Yes, that was a good fight.
It was a very good fight, but then again, I don't know what it is about Izzy. If it's like the Conor McGregor thing with the Conor McGregor Aldo thing, where Aldo was just so hyped up that he just went in swinging.
Yeah.
But with the Gaslam thing, like, just utilize your wrestling a bit. I know that everybody says that he has incredible takedown defense. I'm not taking that away from him. But try and take him down, and try and take him down, and try and take him down. And if you get 1 out of 6 fucking shoots, you still get a takedown in that round.
Yeah.
That's what Khabib does, bro. He doesn't. Everybody has this idea that he just fucking takes you down. Even in the Conor fight, Conor fucking shrugged him off 2, 3, 4 times, and then eventually he fucking gets him. You have to fucking hunt for that takedown, and it's like a weird thing. Like, he's very fucking tricky. He's throwing damage from the outside. You go to take a takedown, and he shrugs you off, and then it's like that confidence is like drained. Like, oh fuck, I don't, bro. Fight him, bro.
Yeah.
Fight him. You see that the only time he got knocked out in kickboxing. Did you ever watch that fight?
I watched it.
Bro, that oak was getting fucking dropped by Izzy time and time again. And eventually, bro, it did the opposite. It demoralized Izzy. Because Izzy's like, dude, I'm just fucking putting this guy down. And he's just walking forward. And then he caught Izzy with a fucking bomb.
Yes, dude.
And then Izzy was fucking... It was a deadly fucking knockout.
It was a bad knockout.
And you know what that is? It's also,
I think they had him on like oxygen and shit.
But that's what I was about to say. You know what that is? It's as much as that knockout is power, it's also a lack of oxygen in your body. Once that oxygen starts depleting your brain and your brain fucking hits and it shifts, your body shuts down much quicker. So that Izzy fight, Izzy's throwing and he's throwing and he's throwing. By the 3rd round, bro,
take him down.
You fucking Izzy's starting to get sore now.
Yeah.
That does damage on your body, does damage on your arms. You fucking starting to get tired because if you throwing the strikes, you're more likely to get tired than the guy that's fucking playing the defensive game.
Yeah.
So he literally fucking drained Izzy of all of his energy, and then he went in and threw haymakers, which may be what Costa was thinking to do. But dude, I don't know, dude.
He's not technical enough.
He's not, bro.
It's weird though. Like, think about the Robert Whittaker fight. He came in there fucking guns blazing.
Again,
and just
bro.
got shut down, bro.
This is the thing. I don't want to make excuses. Like, Israel Adesanya is obviously a special. I think Robert Whittaker wasn't himself. You saw that fight.
Yeah.
It turns out that he was giving his daughter bone marrow, like transplants, because she has cancer and she's busy dying of cancer during that time. So he was also dealing with the fucking like
everything.
I don't want to take anything away from Izzy, but it's just weird things that carry on happening around all these fights, and it's never the spectacle that it should be.
Yeah.
Robert Whittaker should not get dropped.
No, bro.
Not only did that get dropped, he getting hits, and he's just carry on doing he's just literally standing there getting punched.
He looked like it was just like a bar fight, bro.
That's it was. Yeah, and he just was, dude. It's weird, bro.
It was weird, bro.
And Robert Whittaker is known for his mix-up fighting. I don't even think he dropped the shoulders once, bro, to fucking try and, that's what he's known for. He fucking punches you, takes you down, wrestles you, but bro, he just fucking stood there in the center of the octagon against the best fucking striker in the UFC. Doesn't make any sense, bro.
I don't know. Something was wrong with that fight, bro, as well. But I don't know, Ty. It's hard for me to say, bro, like, now, to be honest, I'm convinced, bro. Because dude, it's actually hard to say because there hasn't been someone that has tried to take him down the whole time. But who tried to do that? No one. Yoel Romero went for one takedown, took him down, didn't hold him down, but only one.
Yeah.
And he's a fucking one of the best wrestlers in the UFC.
Bro, Yeah, it's such a
And
strange
he's
thing with
fucking
him.
strong.
It's maybe just his position. You never know when you stand in front of the guy. It's very different for me to talk here and
Yeah,
then me
it's
to
not-
stand in
it's
front
nice.
of him and nice to talk. And then I
Opinion
also
from
go
the
like,
peanut
oh,
gallery.
bro, fucking...
Look like
Because he's a blue belt in jiu-jitsu. So I'm like, oh, fuck, I should be able to take the guy down. And you probably try and take him down. It makes you look like a bitch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But also the other thing is, bro, Robert Whittaker hasn't been like doing so well. Back of all that shit, he's fine. Kevin Gastelum, I don't rate him. Calvin Gastelum. I rate him as like a top 5 fighter, but he's not a championship winner for me.
Yeah.
Yoel Romero.
Did you see his last loss?
Mm-mm.
I think it was like, I could be wrong. I think it was literally the first minute he got it. I forgot who it was, bro.
I remember he's coming back losses.
Ankle lock, bro.
Yeah, the guy just took him down. I remember. Yeah.
Everyone was like, what?
That's what I'm saying. Because like sometimes when you win like back-to-back fights, there's a weird thing happens in like UFC. Like the fucking fan base, most of the fan base is very reactionary. So like Kevin Gastelum wins like 2 fights in a row against like decent opponents, and now he's like, no, Kevin Gastelum, the next world champion.
Yeah.
For me, Izzy hasn't fought like that oak because I feel like that division is like Robert Whittaker is an amazing fighter. For me, he's not like a fucking stone cold champion. Yeah. Yoel Romero, you can tell his UFC record. He's a brilliant wrestler. He's not the fucking best at UFC. He doesn't make the right decisions.
Yeah.
Paulo Costa maybe a bit overhyped. It would seem like it. That division doesn't have like a stone cold killer, and I think at the moment also my problem with Izzy is like he's a brilliant fighter, but he's like 7 levels above like everybody else in that division. And there's no one really that I can think in my head that's not going to go challenge him.
John Jones.
But this is the thing.
John Jones and I was actually at Pepe last night.
Yeah.
And there was a guy that I was talking to about it, and he was like, "Bro, it will never happen."
Dana White says the fight's
Let me tell you something. I tip right now, before July next year, that fight will happen.
It might happen sooner than later. It might actually happen fucking... If Izzy can turn around, it might happen this year.
Because, dude, Izzy took fuck all
damage
in that fight. He could
so fight, I literally think it might be a turnaround. And so the guy is saying this is the dumbest thing ever. Dana White, yesterday or the day before, I saw him in an interview. I think it was on the Mac Life. And he was like, it's the fight to make. He's like, will be the biggest fight. He's not fucking stupid. It's going to be the biggest fight in the UFC since fucking Conor Nate, bro.
What was bigger?
Khabib Conor broke actually the pay-per-view record. I think it was like 3.6 million bars, bro. If you think about like, I think a pay-per-view cost like $500.
No.
Was it $200?
Is it that much?
I think it's like that much.
Is that for the full?
It's a full card and everything.
Okay,
Remember, they have to pay to watch whatever.
Yeah.
Never mind the broadcasting rights, the SuperSport pays, and all the other things. They made fucking
so much money.
But I don't know if it beat Mayweather.
McGregor. I think that was more.
Yeah.
But the question is, where do they fight? Do they fight 205? Because the thing is, I don't think John Jones, especially now, he's getting older.
It's Izzy's fault at heavyweight.
That's what I was saying to the guy last night. Like, dude,
and I think
it'll be easy for Israel.
As far as
he's a big guy.
Yeah, as far as I understand, he also walks around about 95, 98. So he walks around in light heavyweights thing. So it's more conditioning than a weight cutting thing with him. It's like Daniel Cormier, where he's like he doesn't do any weight cut now. He just conditions and spars.
But you wonder, bro, would Izzy be even fucking better without having to cut weight, bro? That would also be like, you don't know.
You know what the thing is?
He's such a good kickboxer.
I've been wrong now with this Paulo fight. I'll be honest, bro. I really did think he was a better fighter. I'm very disappointed. I'm on like a losing streak with my predictions. Usually I'm fucking brilliant, bro, but lately I've been cuck. But I think John Jones might be one step too far for Izzy. And I think in my heart of heart, I think John Jones has more than... Because the Thiago fight was very close. The Smith fight was very close. A lot of people are saying...
Not the Smith fight, the Reyes fight.
The Reyes fight. So the Reyes fight...
The Smith fight.
Oh yeah, that's when he was like kneeing him on the floor and shit. Yeah, I remember. So, but I think there's a lot of questions asked about John Jones, and everybody's like, he's a wash-up. He's fucking lost it, blah, 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 blah. I think if he fights Izzy, dude, it's just the thing is like... Izzy wins a lot of fights because he is so tall. John Jones is taller than Izzy and has a longer reach. And that is the only thing that I'm thinking in my head now when I look at the division. Not that there's not killers in that division. But I don't think like Izzy's level killers. I think he is a step above in that division at the moment, above everybody else. But John Jones, bro, is just a different fucking animal, bro. And he's like the only oak that like can nullify that fucking stiff range of Izzy and keep him on the outside. And But also at the other time, it could just be a fucking thing where maybe John Jones has had enough. Maybe Izzy goes and he stitches Jones, and then listen, if Israel Adesanya stitches John Jones, as much as I fucking hate Israel Adesanya, I'll declare him the fucking best fight I've ever seen.
Dude, it's not even a question. But you know what the thing is, like, do you honestly think that John Jones is as good a striker as Israel Adesanya?
I think he's a better striker, in my opinion. And you know what the thing is about John Jones, and this is the thing that I've always believed in my heart, is he's a two-time fighter. Every single fight that he fights, Gustafsson, DC, fucking Reyes, Thiago, it's all super close. Yeah. And he comes a second fight and he just fucking destroys him.
Yeah.
I think him and Izzy, if they have to fight, it'll be like a fucking maybe a contentious thing, and then I think he'll come back and he'll just destroy Izzy. He has this thing in him where it's like, I can't explain it, but he figures people out. Like, he told DC how he's gonna fuck him up. He told Gustafsson how he's gonna fuck him up the second fights.
Yeah.
He said, DC, I'm gonna just throw my leg over your head, I'm gonna kick you in the head, I'm gonna knock you out. And DC was like, I know what you're talking about, and then he fucking goes and does it. Gustafsson, he said he's gonna TKO him, he's probably gonna get into the fetal position, gets on his back, boom, 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 knocks him out.
But with someone like Israel Adesanya, will John Jones get a second chance? That's the fucking question, bro. Because Israel Adesanya could just come in there, bro, stitch him up.
Well, then that's all riding on Izzy's thing, but that's the thing. There's a lot to fucking to like oogle at in that fight, bro, because there's so much on the fucking line. There's so much on the line because.
But also you wonder, bro. You wonder, will John Jones be able to take down? I actually want to quickly Google what the reach advantage would be, because I also want to know, do you think that John Jones will be able to take Israel Adesanya down? No one's been fucking successful in it so far.
No one's been successful, but again, no one was like a Division A, like fucking college champion. Has Rampage Jackson, I'll never ever get submission in my life, let alone a rear naked choke. And John Jones is like, dude, I'm going to rear naked choke him. And then that's how he won the belt. It's fucking insane. He does things that like he literally the guy that you cannot choke out. He's like, okay, I'm gonna choke this guy out. Yeah.
No, bro. Like you can't deny the fact that he's the best, bro. But,
no, he's amazing, bro.
But it's so weird, like how everyone's like John Jones is the best. Why is no one fucking saying Khabib's the GOAT? Why not? What's the?
You know what the thing is? I think to be honest, I think it is just size, bro. It is always. It's the thing if we go to bodybuilding, bro.
Yeah.
Like. Think about a guy, like think about the biggest fucking Olympia, the guy that's bought the biggest package ever, just a fucking absolute machine.
Mm-hmm.
And then a guy that has like the craziest physique, like he's the most ripped fucking oak ever. Like there's always kind of like a marvel at like the freak.
Yeah.
And I think like with John Jones, I remember also when John Jones came in the sun, there was like Vanderlei Silva, there was Rampage Jackson, fucking Lyoto Machida, bro. He was fighting like the top that close, division bro, was like, and he was 20 fucking years old and just stopping it, bro.
And that's also what Israel Adesanya hasn't had, bro. He hasn't had like stone cold
fucking killers. And that's the thing, bro. Like as good as those O's are, like I look at the division and I don't really like Izzy's on that like next level. He's on that like gap where it's like it's him, Khabib, John. Like, you know, there's only a few people that ever get to be like that fucking good. And I think Izzy's in that gap. Yeah. So now Izzy's going to be the first, like, you know, to fight like his first guy that's like, okay, fuck, it's like two fucking titans clashing, bro. This is like fucking
two stone
cold fucking guys that have been.
But, bro, that's what we thought about Paulo Costa, bro.
But again, looking back at him, bro, he hasn't really. That's the thing. Maybe he was like, I fell for the hype. I really did think that he was going to be something special. I carried on saying to everyone, this kid is going to be something special.
And maybe he will be. Maybe something did go wrong. But
I hope so, bro. I hope I'm wrong about him because I feel incredibly disappointed for him because there's nothing more, dude. Like if you get paid to fight. Like, dude, I know it's a fucking cliche and I'm sitting here at a table and it's very easy for me to say, be fucking prepared to die, bro.
Yeah.
But I feel like if that's your job and it's like, dude, a championship fight is like your one fucking shot, bro.
Yeah.
How many fucking people get a shot to be a UFC fucking champion? Dude, like a fucking handful of people in the history of the sport, bro.
Yeah.
It's your one fucking shot. Go out there, guns blazing, dude.
Yeah.
Like fucking... Bro, don't overthink it. Just do what you do. Just go and maul people. Dude, he's known for putting people under pressure.
Yo, and now he's going to try to strike with the fucking best.
And then, like, everybody was saying, oh, but is his footwork? He changes angles and he keeps himself off the cage. I understand that, but also, like, dude...
If someone's chasing you down for 25 minutes, it's gonna be hard to change every fucking angle.
Not only that, it's just also the other fucking thing is like, it's hard to make that argument when Paulo Costa's not throwing punches. If he's throwing punches and Izzy's changing angles and countering him, then I would understand the tactic.
Yeah.
But he's just following him around the ring, not striking.
Yeah.
Doesn't fucking make sense to me what he was thinking.
It was a
bro.
dumb. I think it was. I don't know. They should have. First of all, if it wasn't like he was injured and that's why it was like weird, then bro, I don't know why. Like they should have checked. It should have been like, okay, cool. We saw what happened with the Yoel Romero fight. It's not gonna fucking work, dude. He's way longer than you. He's just literally just gonna walk around the fucking octagon, hit you, walk, hit you. I don't know, bro. You gotta try to take the guy down or fucking just put as much. Think about why why was Gaston so successful against.
Just striking, bro. And how many times did he counter strike Gaston and Gaston just keep going? And that's the thing about him. It's like this. He's so good that he kind of makes you doubt yourself.
Yeah.
You try and stay on the outside, he kicks your fucking leg. You try and come a bit closer, he changes the angle, he punches you.
Yeah.
Carry on fucking going, dude. You're gonna lose either way.
Yeah, you might as well go out fucking bang.
If you're in between those lines, you've already lost.
Yeah.
So fucking just keep with your game plan. If he fucking knocks you out, he knocks you out. That's at least with Robert Whittaker, bro. As much as that was a fucking bar fight, at least he went out swinging. He was like, oh fuck, I got fucked up, whatever. But he fought a fight, bro. It didn't last long.
He went there to brawl.
But he went there to fight, bro. He didn't go and fucking say, no, I'm gonna stand this guy and try and fucking.
Yeah.
Those technical fights are needed, especially in championship fights, but you cannot stand against the most technical guy when you're not in the same level.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
And the reason why I think, besides the fact that he's so good, I think Israel Adesanya, whatever the fuck.
Adesanya.
His mental game is stuff, really.
I think
he's, first of all, I think he's a lot more intelligent than what people think.
He's also got
he's a smart motherfucker.
He's got a good way of like pissing you off without really doing much.
Yeah.
And he plays on it.
Well,
you always see he plays on it.
We both hate him.
We fucking hate him, bro. I never met the guy. He's probably the fucking coolest guy. If he probably... It's one of those things I hate Israel Adesanya. And if I saw him there, I'd be like, oh my god, it's fucking Israel Adesanya.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Well, first of all, you wouldn't tune him as a fucking pussy.
Oh no, because he'd fucking give you a heart.
Yeah.
This is Africa, we shoot, yeah. It's like fucking Glock and see how hard you can fucking head kick me. But fucking... but it's...
We're all fanboys at the end of the day.
We're all fanboys at the end of the day. Misacho would probably suck his dick, you know what I mean? I'd probably be like, oh, Izzy, you're the best. So it's very easy to criticize, but like as a fucking, like, the sports, I love it so much and has been a huge fan. It's not... I don't like to jump on the bandwagons, bro, and that's the thing I feel about Izzy. This Jones fight, sell me, bro. If you ever fucking in
Put
your
it
life...
this way, if he beats John Jones...
Oh, you sold me, bro.
No matter how it is, even if it's on fucking decision, I don't care.
Yeah.
Then he's the fucking goat.
Yeah, no, then he's the fucking goat because, bro...
Then he'll be 21-0 or whatever. And I just checked the reach. John Jones has a 4-inch reach advantage.
That's a big gap, bro. It's a big gap.
Hold on. You know what? I'm just thinking about that division, my boy. You're probably going to disagree with me on this one, but this is fucking... Bro, I'm telling you right now. If John Jones comes back and fights Jan Blachowicz, I think he's got big fucking shit. I'm telling you right now, that is a... I'll tell you why now. And I know... Strength and muscle never wins a fight. But my boy, have you ever seen someone kick, just literally one kick?
Dude.
And he's fucking whole...
So me and my missus were watching the fight. And I literally asked her, I was like, bro...
Look at his ribs.
I was like, I've never, ever in my life seen someone kick a kick. And then his whole body was purple, like, instantly.
And
it's like he hit him with the fucking...
Dominic Reyes is a dark-skinned guy.
Yeah.
It's not like he's just a fucking Irish, fucking white... No,
bro. There was some fucking other kind of power behind those shots. I'm telling you,
that Polish power, and it's crazy, bro. I was chatting to my pops just before the fight, and I'm like, listen, Jan Blachowicz has got an uphill battle against Dominic Reyes. Dominic Reyes.
I didn't rate him. I thought I rated Jan would win.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, in my opinion, Dominic Reyes beat John Jones. That's why I was like, bro. There's no, and he said the day before in the press conference or whatever, he's like, I'm going to knock him out second round.
Yeah.
And the fact of the matter was, like, he didn't just go there and, like, just fucking, like, be stupid, bro. He was smart. he saw he had him hurt, and he's still slow. He's still like, you know, he was still wary of the fact that this guy can put me out fucking anytime. Bro, and he landed that kick, boom, to the ribs, and everyone just saw that thing, we're like, fuck. And he landed another 3. And even then, I was like, before the broken nose, nothing. It was just, you knew it was over.
I want to say something that's going to upset you, though. I think Jones made Race look way better than he was. Because I think Race maybe surprised Jones with his reach. And he's got like this weird fucking style where he can like bounce out, he'll cut the angle, then cut the angle again, and then throw a shot.
Yeah.
And for a guy like Jones, he likes to throw a shoulder over it, and then he's getting like caught with 1 or 2 of those punches. It makes him second guess himself. And like when you're John Jones, it's like a thing like you cannot lose. Because of John Jones, like dude, he's like been the greatest fighter fucking in the UFC, bro.
For a long time.
If he loses one fight, everybody be like, you fucking shit. You know, like everybody just wants to jump on that the hate thing with him.
Because at the end of the day, he is undefeated.
He is undefeated, bro, and he's incredible. And he's done it in such, like, dude, he's one of the very few people. It's why Khabib is who Khabib is. Yeah. Dude, like Michael Johnson, Conor McGregor, fucking, dude, obviously going to fight Gaethje now, Dustin Poirier. Dude, he's fucking, anyone that's been anyone in the division, besides obviously him and Tony, which is never, obviously the guys that wanted to see, but I still think it would have gone Khabib's way. I think with a strong like wrestling, like that Greco-Roman wrestling / Sambo style that they have, I think it nullifies jiu-jitsu, bro. Yeah, I know, like how good Tony Ferguson is, and not taking anything. 10th planet jiu-jitsu. Eddie Bravo is like one of the best coaches in the world. Apparently, fucking Tony Ferguson is one of those always like you teach him something once and then he can do it like 20 fucking times over. Yeah. And he's got his own weird techniques and shit. But it's just like I can't explain it. Like that fucking Sambo, like Greco-Roman, like they've taken that Dagestani Sambo, and they've taken it to AKA in America, the American Kickboxing Academy, and with that Javier Mendez. Yes, and they've like blended it into like this weird, it's like fucking hardcore wrestling. I tire you out, I beat you up, and then I submit you. Yeah. And that just seems to cancel out, like, because he's fucking fought other black belts and fucking shit like that, and his style just seems to cancel out. And I don't see, Tony Ferguson's not going to beat him on the feet. And if, you know, like if Tony one that like kind of wanted to get the fight on his back and try and cut him up with the elbows and shit because, you know, he's good at that. I don't think Khabib's that stupid, bro. I think
Khabib's smart, bro. His
fight IQ is also through the fucking roof, that guy, bro. And if anybody ever doubts it, is that when he threw that overhand, he fucking smacked Conor. Yeah. He knew he threw the punch before Conor moved forward. He knew that Conor was going to walk into his fist. My bro, to stand in front of one of the most dangerous strikers in the world and know that you're going to hit him before he's fucking moved forward is... Yeah, it's disgusting, bro.
Listen, bro, the guy that I think is going to pose the biggest threat to him is Gaethje. 100%.
Oh, yeah, Justin...
Just because, first of all, he's a fucking demon on the feet. He's an amazing striker, like, and he's going to chop his fucking legs, like, to pieces.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting.
He's going to try, but he's got some of the best defensive wrestling.
Yeah. He was also a Division 1 wrestler.
Which also plays into his part against Khabib.
That was the thing, like, he's one of those weird guys. He's so fucking good at wrestling, he's just never utilized it because he likes...
But he even says he's actually not a good offensive wrestler at all.
Yeah, maybe that's the thing. Maybe he's just not too confident taking down and, like, changing position. But like you said,
if you try to
take him down...
He's going to hoe you fucking...
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because we remember Olaya Quinta, that's his like also a strong game, and he managed to keep Khabib on the feet, but his striking is not so good. So Khabib stitched him up a bit on the feet, but Gaethje's just so good on his hat. It's going to be incredible. I just can't see with the death of Khabib's father and everything that this fight is going to mean to his father's wish for him to retire in 30-0 and all this. I just, dude, it's just different, bro. I just can't. He cannot lose this fight, and he even said he can't lose this fucking fight. He can't. If there was ever a time that you do not want to fight Khabib Nurmagomedov, is fucking now. No. And Gaethje is fucking. He's also on the up. It's also a time where he's riding that confidence wave. He believes in himself. His coaching staff is fucking sharpened up.
And he put on a masterclass in his last fight.
And he's shown that everybody, like, and I've been one of those guys that have just like. We've heard so many pundits and like Dan Hooker and Joe Rogan and DC, everybody like scream at him, and I've been one of those guys because I'm like, you have that in you. Yeah. You have that technical ability to keep them on the outside, to fight a smart fight, but then you want to fucking swing your fucking hands until this wants to brawl, bro. I mean, his nickname is the fucking highlight, bro.
Yeah. So. Yeah, bro. Yeah, as long and that also plays into his favor that there's going to be no fans.
No crowd, bro. No crowd.
Like you said in the last fight, bro.
But I think it also kind of suits Khabib well. I don't think he's a very
emotional fighter at all.
And he's also a very dedicated corner. With in my belief is AKA is the best fucking gym in the world, let alone fucking thing. Javier Mendez and them are fucking beyond. And I remember they bought like Mark Henry in to help DC now with the last Stipe fight. Obviously he lost, but you could see DC's hands were a bit better. So I can imagine Mark Henry stuck around also for Khabib and stuff to kind of sharpen him up. So bro, you got Mark Henry, who's probably the best striking fucking coach in the fucking world, and then you've got the best fucking kickboxing academy and best fucking wrestling coaches in the world behind you.
Yeah.
Gage's team as well though is fucking amazing. Trevor Whitman is fucking. He's very very smart, very very smart. Yeah, no, and he's been crying because you saw him on Joe Rogan's podcast saying that like, bro, I've been begging this motherfucker time and time again to fight this fight, and he never fought this fight. Now the one time he does, he fucking is world champion.
And bro, let me tell you something. No one does. Dude, he Tony Ferguson.
Yeah,
that's exactly what he did. It was, but bro, I need to go back to this whole Jan Blachowicz thing.
Oh yeah.
I'm telling you now, even like you disagree with me, John Jones, whatever. That 205 division's got big shit with this against champion.
Yes, bro. I rate him highly. I think Jones gave Race a bit too much respect, and I think Jan Blachowicz, he kind of took that again. It's a championship fight. You have to take that gamble. That's the thing about the fight. It can go either one way. You could lean in and throw those power punches and get caught and get knocked out, then we're having a different conversation. But he fucking believed in his power, and when he threw that kick, Dominic realized...
You could see, he was like...
I don't think he fucking even, like, understood, bro, like, how fucking, like... Dude, I didn't know that... I knew he's got a good, like, kicking game.
Yeah.
But when he threw that kick, it was so accurate, it was fucking landed in the right place, and then he landed it, like, a couple times over. And Dominic Reyes was so thrown off by his fucking legs that he stopped watching his hands.
Broken nose, boom.
Bro.
I think
but you
it
see,
was I don't know actually what it was, but it was
you fucking literally saw his nose like snap off and then come back, bro.
No, it was broken badly. I said, look at his broken nose, because you could check like the shadow.
Bro,
And he didn't just beat Dominic Reyes.
He's fucking annihilated.
And in the first round, he was like sussing him out. As soon as he went forward, bro.
And the craziest thing about him, bro, everybody forgets he's an incredible ground game. He's very well rounded as a fighter. So like you said, he's big fucking nonsense for people in that division.
I see that guy having the belt for a long time. Bro.
Yeah, bro. I also like, besides that, bro, that race is good, but
you won't get the rematch.
You won't get the rematch.
The only guy, I think the guy that will get the match next will be Thiago Santos.
Yeah.
Santos, how you say
Santos,
yeah. He's power, and he's also wild.
Yeah. But that division is going to struggle a bit without the shine of John Jones, I'll be honest. Because Jan is, like you said, I think he's going to be the next one to hold the torch for
a while.
For quite a bit, dude. Quite a bit, bro.
That looks a fuck. Bro, I'm telling you now, he is a lot stronger than the other guys in that division.
Yeah, bro. And he's one of the, like, you know what the craziest thing about fighters is, like, you see a lot of fighters fight, like, that's what I think, like, separates a guy like Izzy and then the rest of the division. Is every time I watch Izzy, he's just a little bit better, bro.
Yeah.
Just a little bit sharper. He looks like he has like one or two more angles, one or two more strikes. He's always like getting better.
Yeah.
With like guys like Gaslam and stuff, I always see them, they fight at a standard and they kind of like, you know, maybe one or two impressive performances, but they don't shine. Like Izzy shines from one fight to the next fight he shines.
Yeah.
And that's the thing with John with me, bro. Like obviously he's had like a couple close calls, but I always call him he's the 2-fight fighter, bro. You always fucking, I don't know what it is about him. It's like, he needs to kind of like feel you, fucking see you, like stand with you, spar with you. And then after that, he just kind of like knows. Fuck, exactly. When I was in the octagon, there was that one, he kind of like spotted. It was that one thing that I saw. Now the next training camp, I'm just going to focus on that. And then I'm going to fucking take him out like that, bro.
Yeah.
And he seems to do it with fucking everybody.
But the thing is, bro, like, also the controversy with John Jones is that, like, can you call him the GOAT? Because of the whole
gear thing. Bro,
like think about
this is the thing
actually
DC should be
DC was undefeated
in that division.
No, like he was actually undefeated because the John Jones
fight were both for no contest. I think both were decided no contest.
Which is like, bro, has he not been juicing this whole fucking time?
Yeah, probably, bro, probably.
But the thing is, if he's juicing, who isn't juicing, bro?
Well, this is the old name. Remember the Nick Diaz thing? Everybody's on fucking steroids. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't put it past. Whereas again, like what?
Bro, there's a lot.
What do we? Because we say like, you know, like it might not necessarily be steroids. You know, like it could all kind of performance enhancers and all these kind of. Like, dude, DC's always struggled with weight cuts and stuff. I mean, you can argue that where was that fight where he leaned on the towel? Was that the second Jones fight where he made weights? Yeah, it was the second Jones fight.
Yeah.
You can also argue that he cheated his way into weights. And I love DC, bro. I told you, my favorite fucking fighter, hands down. I love DC.
Yeah.
But see, it's like those margins, bro. I get what like steroids does and the gear does, and obviously the performance enhancer does. Always going to give you the winning edge.
Yeah.
But does the winning edge also give you like a fucking right hand kick over the head, like what you predicted like 3 weeks ago? You know.
Bro, put it this way. It won't be like fucking juice like the bodybuilders.
Yeah.
Put it this way, and also there's a lot of PEDs, bro, that like you can get out of your system. There's ways to get out of your system quite quickly. So it's like, but that's also like, what was it that TJ Dillashaw was on? EPOs.
EPOs, yeah. So that's like
that
blood doping shit, yeah.
That's like fucking rocket fuel, boys.
Yeah. It's like it gives you so much more oxygen in your body.
So much more oxygen in your body. Your cardio is better. And the thing is, if you're standing with me now, we're fighting, okay, and I can throw whatever, like a fucking kick to your head 5 times, and then I'm fucking like, I'm tired. I'm like, this guy can throw it every time, all the time. For
and
that
he was,
and
I love TJ. I used to love him, so I still love him. He's coming back soon. I'm so excited. But you're right, dude. He used to fight at a pace that like he was like,
boom, 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 boom,
and then he's throwing fucking 10 punches, head kicks, fucking no, he fought at a different level, bro.
He used to overwhelm Oaks as well, bro.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's hard to, and it's also hard to say, bro. If everyone's on steroids, it's just fuck, dude. Everyone must just. Like it should be legal.
It's definitely cleaned up a bit, bro. And like you can see the.
Oh my fuck! It's cleaned up. Do you remember the like Shamrock days? Frank Shamrock.
He came in there. Frank and dude, Brock Lesnar.
The most embarrassing fight of UFC history was Brock Lesnar
and Mark Hunt.
Not Mark Hunt. Yes, Mark Hunt. And the fight with Alistair Overeem.
Yeah, well, they were just juice monkeys.
Alistair Overeem looked like he could fucking walk on stage and compete as a bodybuilder.
Bro, people are very lucky that Mark Hunt doesn't have the lawyers that the UFC has. Because that court case was like... Dana White did fucking Mark Hunt dirty. Dana White's a human piece of shit, bro. I don't care what anyone says. He's a motherfucker, bro. He treats those fighters like absolute... He treats them like slaves, dude. Don't fucking... I know it's a fucking harsh thing to say.
Yeah.
But, dude, he really fucking, like, fucks some fighters over hard. They knew that Brock Lesnar was going to test positive to steroids, so they scheduled the fight before he could be tested. He fucking beat the shit out of Mark Hunt because he was juiced to the gills, flagged fucking after the fight, and then they like ruled it a no contest. But he fought Alistair Overeem and Brock Lesnar back to back, and they both lit up. You're telling me the UFC...
Alistair Overeem and Mark
Hunt fought, and then he fought... after that, he fought fucking Brock Lesnar. They set him up with 2 fights in a row.
What do you mean he fought Brock Lesnar? Brock Lesnar fought who?
So Mark Hunt fought Alistair. So he fought Alistair, and then after he fought Alistair, he fought Lesnar.
Oh, I see.
Both O's were known to be fucking lit up, and then the UFC shuffled stuff around, especially because remember Brock Lesnar was UFC 200, so it was this huge event. It was his return, all that shit. So basically, we're like, hey, bro, get in this cage with this guy that's like gonna fuck you up because he's just like so much stronger and bigger and faster than you.
He's on rocket fuel.
Yeah, he's literally on fucking like every fucking steroid.
It's so funny, bro. Joe Diaz also, it's literally one of his funniest things, but he also like he was commenting on the fight and he's like, it's the most embarrassing fight I've ever seen in my life because they knew it was on the fucking.
And this is the thing, the whole court case, Mark Hunt was like, dude, you guys endangered my life.
Yeah.
And
it put me in there with a fucking animal.
And I watched it on the Grunge TV with Robert Whittaker where he was saying, he's like, dude, the UFC can be lucky I don't have good lawyers. He's like, the UFC lawyers get, they're fucking fucking millionaires, bro, in dollars. They're the fucking best legal team you can get. Mark Hunt's just a bra that's been underpaid by the UFC.
Yeah.
He can't fucking, he's like, bro, he can't use his whole fucking last finances to fight this case. So the UFC just dragged it out and then eventually it just got thrown out. And it's fucking wrong what they did to the guy because they like knew what they were doing, bro.
And Mark Hunt's no fucking
Imagine,
punk,
it's like the equivalence of you getting to a boxing fight and they know that one of the guy's gloves are padded. So like he can hit harder.
He's got like fucking
he's got
brass
like
knuckles.
brass knuckles or something, bro. That's how badly they set up Mockhunt. They're like this. We know the circus juiced and fucking. We know we had to literally schedule the fight before it happened, like a week before it was gonna happen, because we know next week he's gonna get tested and it's gonna be positive. They fucked that oak over, and it's such a sad story,
I
bro.
promise you, that fight with Alistair Overeem fucked Brock Lesnar up like.
But
that body kick but that oak was juiced. If you look at Alistair Overeem, I understand he's older, whatever, like, but bro. I'm telling you now, another 3 months he would have fucking stepped on stage.
He used to roll, dude.
I'll show you a photo. Hold on.
Go watch there's a famous video of like him and Bas Rutten like fucking around with each other at gym because of that gym in Holland that they had.
Yes, yeah.
And he must. Still to this day, it's like the fucking scariest thing ever. Go YouTube. I think it's Bas Rutten surprises Alistair Overeem or whatever.
Okay.
Brilliant. Alistair Overeem's having an interview. Look at the size of that fucking oak while he's training.
Yeah.
And this was like before the UFC days, it was kickboxing days and shit. Oh, bro.
Different, yeah.
Oh, bro, they don't even look like the same fucking people anymore, bro. Like, Alistair Overeem's always been a big guy, but then, dude, he like couldn't fit through a fucking door. It was definitely...
He was a monster, and it wasn't just that he was big, bro. He was fucking lean. Like, lean.
Yeah.
And I was like, bro, yeah. Here's the photo of him. Bro, are you kidding me?
Yeah, bro, no.
I mean, come on. Okay, these are photos of today. Here's him next to Brock Lesnar. There, bro. Those two fucking O's.
It's just a bunch of fucking steroids monkeys smacking each other in the face. And then also, like, as the Overeem's like a skilled fighter for like a heavyweight, but he's also like slow and dumb, bro. Like, that's why like in Ngannou like smacked him into the stratosphere. Stipe fucking... He hasn't done well since he comes to UFC, to be honest. He's got knocked out a lot, bro.
Yeah,
the Santos knocked him.
I gotta say,
Stipe
bro,
knocked him.
I was also the same. Like, I was like, bro, why is Alistair Overeem fucking in the UFC? Literally just been...
Oh, because he's still one of the world's elite fighters.
The thing is, he's been knocked out by everyone, and he's knocked out everyone.
But that's the thing. He's one of those O's. He's like, that's why you get a lot of those journeymen that stay in those ranks, because they're up and down. They're up and down or whatever, and like, you win, lose and stuff. But he's also at such a level that like that's the difference between ranking and unranking. So a lot of us that fight undercard and stuff, and then they step up to the rankings, and then they just get obliterated. Yeah. It's like the guy that just fought Derek Bronson. I don't consider Derek Bronson one of the.
It's Ronda Rousey's boy.
Man. Oh yeah, the Edmund guy. Yeah.
Edmund Shabazian.
Yeah. So when Edmund jumped up, now it was his first ranked fight. He got fucking wasted. Sean O'Malley. You can argue about his finished up, his first ranked fight. Gets fucking like... No, but it's a big... Sean O'Malley... It's a big...
I'm telling you now, Sean O'Malley, if that thing didn't happen to his foot, he would have beat him. I truly believe that.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, bro. That fight, his foot went, whatever, he landed, got the fucking elbows on the floor, back.
Yeah.
But, bro, I'm telling you, even up until then, you could just see he's the better striker. He was a far better fucking striker.
Yeah. Derek Bronson, like I saw, because he was on Joe Rogan once. Joe Rogan was like shitting him out about not having a coach, and I think now he's got into a proper gym and stuff.
Yeah.
He is fucking one of those O's that like he's got such a strong wrestling game. If you can just get coach right to fucking fix the striking a bit, because he's very, very sloppy striker, bro. Yeah. It's just because he doesn't have like any formal coaching background. Yeah. If he gets that fucking like strict fucking coaching, and he like trains for a couple of years, there could be someone, and he's still quite young, bro. I think he's only like 27, 28. He's not that old, bro. So he also has still time to explode, and he's done himself a favor now by still staying up in the rankings, bro. So actually gonna be a guy to watch, bro. He's one of those guys because he's also like a freak athlete, bro.
Yeah.
Every like wrestling, all that shit, he just dominated. It's just that he hasn't been tailored to fucking... I can't believe he coached himself into the UFC. That is the most...
That is crazy, yeah.
Fucking insane shit I've ever heard in my life, dude.
He's natural talent, bro.
Natural talent. So there's something there, bro. So I think I think with the Izzy fight woke him up. He got humbled very, very hard at the Izzy fight, bro.
Can I tell you what I believe is going to be the biggest beatdown in UFC history? It's going to be this Amanda Nunes versus that Megan Anderson, bro.
God
damn. I'll tell you why.
Why do we have to watch that even, dude?
The last chick that what's her name fought Amanda Nunes fought was that
Yeah, the one that she like wrestled and shit, and she just beat her up on the floor. But
Yeah, what is it? She the Canadian chick.
Canadian girl, yeah.
Beat her, like literally beat the shit out of her for 5 rounds. That chick beat Megan Anderson. Submitted her.
Yeah, bro. Ah, dude.
No,
It's just,
it's
but
hard
why
to-
did they should like? I understand that her and Shevchenko fought twice, bro. But for me, that's the fight. I know Shevchenko is champion of her own division, and why would you, like try and bulk up or whatever and fight the other division and stuff? But it's just like the first fight, I really did think Shevchenko won, split decision. I think then they fucking handed to the second fight. I think it also went to split decision. Amanda won. It's fun, very two close fights.
Yeah.
The only two, and I think Shevchenko's got better, and obviously Amanda's got a lot better. In my head, that's the only fight to make, bro. I don't know why, dude. I guess you can't, like, if you're in that division and you want to be the champion,
Yeah.
you have to fight Amanda Nunes.
Yeah.
But it's just, dude, like, the last, like, 2-3 fights we've just been watching, it's like lambs to the slaughter. She's just, you can see, bro. Like, you don't have to be a UFC fucking,
Fundi.
or an MMA expert to
No.
understand that she's just a level above
And you
all
can
these other
kind of
girls,
see,
bro.
like when she strikes, she literally looks like a man when she's brawling.
Yeah.
Where, like there's other chicks you can see like
They still,
it's a
yeah,
woman, you know.
it's
She looks like a fucking like a.
she's
a
one of the
man,
few
bro.
women that could stand toe to toe with like a guy.
guy,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, but like, yeah, that's an argument.